Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm the Collector and welcome back to Q&A number 10. It's Q&A number 10, finally in double digits. It's been a while. I think it's been around 2.5 months, because a month is like 4 to 5 weeks. So it's been a couple of months since we started the series, and it has been absolutely fantastic. So thank you all for 10 weeks of Q&As. We have a lot of questions to answer this week, so without further ado, let's get right into the Q&A. Our first question is from Bob's Builds. He asks, how much is your Lego collection worth? Now, I did do a video on this a couple months ago, but I'm not 100% sure. I think it's an estimate. I'll put the actual number on screen. Go back into Brickset and check. I think it's around $2,200, about $2,000, mid $2,000 maybe. It's somewhere between $2,000 and $3,000. Joe Motion Studios asks, what Marvel Cinematic D2C set would you like to see? So D2C sets are generally larger sets. Things like the Death Star, Batmobile, Batwing, things like that are generally considered D2C sets. So in terms of Marvel, I have to say for MCU, not comic book related, but MCU, actual Marvel Cinematic Universe, I'm not really sure if this would count as a D2C, but I would like to see something along the side of like an Endgame final battle thing. Now the reason I say sort of is because it is a terrain, so it's not specifically one ship. But I'll get to the ship in a second. But I'd say my most wanted thing will probably, in general for Marvel, would be a Endgame final battle set with tons of different minifigures. It would be fairly expensive because of the exclusivity of the minifigures, but a nice terrain build with a lot of minifigures would be nice. Now for a ship sort of model, I would definitely say one of those Shatari giant like worm things. People have wanted those things for years. They never made one. They made like a couple iterations of them, but they're like that big. They're tiny micro scale versions. That isn't 100% what most people would want, but Marvel doesn't really have like the ships, like the iconic ships like Star Wars does, or a lot of Marvel is more terrain builds, a lot of the sets you can get. I think that's why Marvel struggles and tends to make the same sets over and over, because Marvel does not really have any vehicles it can really make and, actually draw attention to. Quickie9288 Quickie asks, will you ever collect Star Wars action figures? So, funny enough, I actually, when I was younger, I used to have an insane collection of of action figures. I had some giant buckets of original Star Wars action figures up until like 2012. I had tons of Star Wars action figures. I used to buy them all the time. I loved them, and I think I may get back into it one day. Currently, I'm not in any position to be buying those. I don't have enough space for them, and I have to get my room organized to be able to do that. But I think one day I may. Now, Black Series are fairly expensive, so I may go the route of more of the like $8 to $10 versions, because those are the ones I grew up with also. It'd make more sense, but I'll have to see. I do like the Black Series a lot, especially the exclusive ones like the Christmas versions and like things like the Thrawn. But I think one day we'll definitely get into action figures again. Not sure when. Again, I don't have the space for it, but I think one day, yeah. Squidman asks, how often do you buy Lego? So I don't really have a specific answer for this question because it does really vary between months, but I'd say an even amount of a couple times a month. I don't buy too much Lego, honestly. I don't know why. I'm a Lego YouTuber. I'm not really sure why I don't buy a lot of Lego. It doesn't make any sense to me. I have no money to spend in the first place. I buy Lego a couple times a month. I don't really have a direct answer to answer this because it really just does vary depending on when I have enough money, depending on when there's a set that comes out. It really does depend, but currently right now there aren't really sets I want. I haven't bought a set really since I bought the T-Rex Rampage, but before that it was like November. There aren't really any sets I want right now. A lot of the upcoming sets during the summer are going to be sets I'm going to be buying, so I'm just saving my money for that, but right now there really aren't any sets I want that aren't like $400, so I guess a couple times a month is my answer. There's no catch. You're still going to ask thoughts on Minecraft and do you play it? So I do play Minecraft, some might say even too much, but it is a game I play fairly often, not recently, but fairly often I play Minecraft. I tend to play single player more than multiplayer, but I think it's a fantastic game. I think it's a very open game to anyone that wants to play it. Whatever games you like to play, it really does have a mix of all of those, and I think it's really open to anyone. Despite your game likings or dislikings, it really is a game you can do anything you want. And I think if you haven't played the game before, at least give it a try, and I do have to pay for it. There are ways to buy it, I think, or like demo it. I guess that's a better way to say it, but there are ways to try it out, and I definitely recommend looking into it or trying it out if you have not. It's a very fun game. Trust me, it'll be worth your time. Quickie9288 asks, who are your favorite YouTubers? So I actually had a question like this a couple weeks ago in another Q&A, but I have to say John B. Now, John B makes fishing content, he makes a lot of outdoors content, and I do generally enjoy watching that kind of stuff on YouTube. I just tend to watch a lot more outdoor videos. I don't know why. I enjoy watching them, so I do watch his channel a lot. I love his fishing content, I love his content in general, and I do spend a lot of time watching his videos. Generation Brick Studios asks, nice editing, thank you, as always, but do you think you can survive a 24-hour live stream? No, I don't think I can, but I will still try someday. I don't know when I'm going to try, but I'm hopefully going to try to do a 24-hour live stream someday. I don't have any plans for it. I can't say if I'm going to have guests on, if I'm one I'm building. I have no clue. Hopefully I have something to build then. That's the goal, because sitting there for 24 hours, not that easy. But hopefully I'll find a way to make it easier on myself and easier on others that are joining. So we'll have to work out the kinks in this, but hopefully I can confidently say it's going to be done this year. I can't imagine I'd go into the summertime without doing it. So in the next month or two, I'll probably be doing it. I know I've pushed it off for a while, but maybe I'll make it official soon. I don't know. But I do plan on doing a 24-hour live stream soon. It's a goal of mine. It's sort of like a milestone for me, where something I want to do on this channel. I think we're really awesome. I think people would enjoy to watch it. Bricksmaster Production asks, do you think LEGO should make a UCS Tie Fighter? So, fun fact, LEGO actually already has made a Tie Fighter. It's actually not that very popular set, so a lot of people don't know about it. They have made a UCS Tie Fighter, though. Came out a couple years ago, but I think it is time for a remake. Now, if you guys do remember, I think about a couple months ago, LEGO did a vote where you could vote for the gunship, the TIE Bomber, or the Nebulon B. Obviously, the clear answer was to vote for the Nebulon B. No one likes the gunship. It's going to suck anyways, and the TIE Bomber was not exactly something people wanted because LEGO, I think, has already made one. But I think it is time for a TIE Fighter remake. Now, the last time we got a TIE Fighter, an actual TIE Fighter, was 2017. We did get a TIE Fighter in the beginning of 2020. But that TIE Fighter is a very, very tiny TIE Fighter, and it isn't really considered an actual TIE Fighter, in my opinion at least. But I think it is time for LEGO to dive back into making TIE Fighters, because they are fantastic. They are very popular ships like the X-Wing, and instead of LEGO making 20 different X-Wings a year, they can maybe throw in a TIE Fighter. It wouldn't hurt them at all. Again, UCS TIE Bomber was in the vote, so maybe we'll get that one day. But I think just LEGO remaking the UCS TIE Fighter would not be a bad thing. Well, that is it for this week's Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed. We had a good amount of questions, so thank you to all who did comment. It makes it very fun to answer a lot of these questions. So, like always, if you'd like to be featured in next week's Q&A, all you gotta do is leave a comment down below, and it will be guaranteed to be answered in the next week's Q&A. So I do thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have tons of fun making these. I'm sure you guys know that by now. So, give the video a like, subscribe. I'll see you guys next week.